Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to add Jet Form Builder submission in Google Sheets. So I'm an owner of a business and I've created a form for my customers for their feedbacks or inquiries using Jet Form Builder. Here what I want is that as soon as any of my customers are going to fill in the form that I've created using Jet Form Builder, automatically I want to create a record of that form submission in my Google Sheets so that my team and I can work on the feedback that my customers have done the form submission for. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to create an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So in this automation, what is going to happen that as soon as a new form submission is going to be done by any of our customers using Jet Form Builder, automatically that form submission is going to be created as a record in our Google Sheets. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to simply create an automation between Jet Form Builder and Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add Jet Form Builder submission in Google Sheets. So I am an owner of a business that often collects various types of data from the customers such as inquiries, feedbacks, or do surveys or subscription requests. Through Jet Form Builder form submissions, managing this data manually can be time-taking. By integrating Jet Form Builder and Google Sheets, businesses can automatically transfer all the form submissions data to Google Sheets. This ensures that team can quickly access and respond to client needs, improving customer service and operational efficiency. Additionally, the data can be easily analyzed to identify trends and make data-driven decisions. So in this video, we're going to create this amazing automation between Jet Form Builder and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on the top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Add Jet Form Builder submission in Google Sheets. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this arrow. So these are the folders that I've created in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select Jet Form Builder Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to a workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Add Jet Form Builder submissions in Google Sheets, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens, and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, we need to set up our trigger step. For that, click on this arrow, and for the trigger application, we are going to select it as Jet Form Builder. So I'm going to select my trigger application as Jet Form Builder. With the help of the Jet Form Builder, I have created a form with the help of which I'm collecting the feedback of my customers of my business services. Okay, so that is why for the trigger application I've selected as Jet Form Builder. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Submission. As with the help of Jet Form Builder, I have created a form, and when a new submission is going to be done by any of my customers with the help of this form, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response, okay? As we have selected the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we can connect Jet Form Builder to Pabbly Connect, as this URL works as a bridge between Jet Form Builder and Pabbly Connect. So that whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of our customers using the form that we have created, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of the form submission being done. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, to follow the steps given here below in the help desk in order to connect JetForm and Pabbly Connect. For that, we need to open the form that we have created using JetForm Builder. As you can see that this is the form that I've created using JetForm Builder to collect my customers' feedback for my business. Okay, suggestions or feedbacks from my business. And what we are going to do is we're going to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. For that, click on the settings option right over here. As we're going to do that, under settings there are multiple options from which we have to click on this form settings option. As we've selected form settings, you can see from the left side of our panel there are multiple options under which it says webhooks. We're going to click on it. As we're going to click on webhook, the webhook feeds page is going to appear. Over here it says add new. We're going to add a new webhook. Firstly, it is asking for the webhook name. So for the webhook name, I'm going to give it as test webhook. So this is the name of my webhook. Okay. Next, over here it is asking for the URL. For the URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. It is asking for the request method. Over here, you have to select the request method as post, and for the request format, you have to select it as JSON. Okay. After that, it is asking for the request headers. You can write the request headers right over here according to your requirement. Okay. Next, it is asking for the request bodies. I'm going to select it as all fields, but you can also select over here the selected fields as per your requirement. You can select the key as well as the field type right over here. I'm going to select over here as all fields, and then I'm going to click over here on save settings. As I've clicked on save settings, over here it says settings is updated. If I'm going to open this webhook page again, you can see a webhook URL has been created in the name of test webhook, which is active, and the webhook URL is right away that Pabbly Connect has provided us. As I successfully added the webhook, I'm going to take you back to my Pabbly Connect workflow. You can see over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now as we successfully added our webhook to our JetForm Builder form that we have created, now what we are going to do is we're going to do a test submission of the form that we have created, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test submission being done or not. For that, I'm going to open the form that I've created. I'm going to click on this edit button. So this is the form that I've created using JetForm Builder, and we're going to do a test submission. For that, click on this preview button. As I've clicked on the preview button, you can see a survey form, that is a feedback form, is going to then appear in front of you. Okay. Over here it is asking for the details of a customer, the first name, last name, email, phone number, address, and the suggestion right over here. So we're going to fill in the details one by one. For the name of our customer, over here I'm going to write it as dummy. For the last name, over here I'm going to write it as test. For the email, over here I'm going to write it as dummytest@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. For the address, over here I'm going to write it as 123 New Town. For the city, over here I'm going to write it as Indore. For the state, over here I'm going to write it as Madhya Pradesh. For the zip code, over here I'm going to write in a dummy zip code. For the country, over here I'm going to select it as India. After selecting the country as India, it is asking, do you have any other comments or suggestions for the feedback? So for the feedback, over here I'm going to write it as excellent service. So this is the feedback. Okay. So after filling all the details, I'm going to click on submit to do the test submission. As you can see, it says thanks for testing our form. So the form submission has now been done successfully. So now I'm going to open a workflow that I've created, and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of this form submission or not. For that, I'm going to open the workflow that I've created. I'm going to scroll down, and yes, you can see right over here the response is captured successfully in our workflow. For the feedback, over here as excellent service. For the phone number, dummy mobile number. Email as dummytest@pabblytudes.com. For the country as India. For the postal code, a dummy postal code. State as Madhya Pradesh, city as Indore, street address as 123 New Town, last name as test, first name as dummy, and all the other details. So this means that we successfully connected JetForm Builder to Pabbly Connect, and a trigger setup is done. So now whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of our customers using JetForm Builder, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. So now as a trigger setup is done, we need to set up our action step, and our objective is that as soon as a new form submission is going to be done by any of our customers using JetForm Builder, automatically we want to create a record of that form submission in our Google Sheets. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to set up our action step, and for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add new row. We are selecting our action application as add new row because we are going to create a record of the form submissions as a new row in our spreadsheet. You can see this is a spreadsheet that I've created, and I want to create a record of the form submission in this spreadsheet by adding the new row of the form submission in this spreadsheet right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the workflow. I've selected my action application as Google Sheets, and for the action event I've selected as add new row, and then I'm going to click on connect to connect Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect. A new window is going to appear on which you have to click on add new connection, but if you want, you can select the existing connection. After that, click on sign in with Google. As you are going to do that, a new window is going to appear which is asking for a permission. I'm going to click on allow. As the safe process in my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on allow right over here. As you can see that we successfully authorized Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, firstly over here it is asking for the spreadsheet in which we want to create the record of our form submission. So for the spreadsheet over here, I've created a spreadsheet in the name of Jet Form Builder Form Submission. So for the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select it as Jet Form Builder Form Submission, as I want to create a record of the form submissions in this spreadsheet right over here. And in the spreadsheet, I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1 right over here. So in my workflow right over here, I'm going to select my sheet as sheet 1, okay. Next, it is asking for the first name, last name, email, phone number, address, city, state, postal code, country, and do you have any other comments or suggestions. So these are the fields that I've created in my spreadsheet, as you can see right over here in the name of first name, last name, email, phone number, address, city, state, postal code, country, and do you have any other comments or suggestions. So these are the same fields that I've created in my spreadsheet has been now appeared on our workflow right over here. And for the data of these fields right over here, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we are going to insert the data from the previous step of our workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as you click on this field, it says Jet Form Builder New Submission. This was the previous step of this workflow. And as soon as you click on this arrow, you can see this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. As first, it is asking for the first name of our customer. So we're going to select the data of the first name of our customer, that is right over here. As I've selected data from the previous response, the data is mapped. And as I've mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of our customers and the response is captured, automatically the new response is going to be updated in place of this mapped data right over here, okay. Next, it is asking for the last name. We're going to map the data of the last name of our customer, that is right over here. It is asking for the email of our customer. I'm going to map the data of the email of our customer. For the phone number, I'm going to map the data of the phone number of our customer. Similarly, for the address, I'm going to map the data of the address of our customer. For the city, I'm going to map the data of the city response from our previous step, that is right over here. For the state, I'm going to map the data of the state response. For the postal code, I'm going to map the data of the postal code. For the country over here, I'm going to map the data of the country, that is right over here, okay. And for do you have any other comments and suggestions, I'm going to map the data of this field right over here as well. After filling in all the details, I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request button. As I've done that, over here response is received and the response that we have received is a positive response. So now I'm going to open a spreadsheet that I've created and I'm going to check whether a record of the form submission has been created in my spreadsheet or not. For that, I'm going to open my spreadsheet that I've created, and yes, as you can see right over here, a record of the form submission is successfully created in this spreadsheet right over here. For the first name as dummy, last name as test, email as dummytest@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, dummy mobile number, address as 123 Newtown, city as Indore, state as Madhya Pradesh. For the postal code, a dummy postal code, country as India. And for do you have any other comments and suggestions as excellent service. So this means that we successfully created an automation between Jet Form Builder and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a business and I've created a form to collect my customers' feedback with the help of Jet Form Builder. So here what I wanted was that as soon as any of my customers are going to do a new form submission using Jet Form Builder, automatically I wanted to create a record of that form submission in my Google Sheets so that I can analyze my feedbacks and work on it with my team of my customers. For that, I've simply created an automation between Jet Form Builder and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how we create this amazing automation. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.